Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to my automatic awkward potion brewer tutorial. This circuit can also be used to create any single input potion. So for example, if you just want to add splash to some bank of potions, or you want to add the glowstone or redstone modifier to a bank of potions. This machine can also do that, but the original purpose of the design that I was focusing on when I made it was to make awkward potions. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the design, explain why I did this and how it works. So, I originally made this design because I couldn't find an existing design that I liked in a couple hours of looking around. So I spent a few hours just designing my own. So, what problem does this solve? Is all of this jumbled mess in any way needed? And you can see version 1.0 over here. Version 1.0 sucks. It's way too bulky. This is the condensed version. So, here we have a simple, what you would think is a much simpler brewing setup, and those of you who aren't very familiar with Redstone may wonder, why can't I just set it up like this? And so, we're going to explain that right now. So right here, this is our chest that we would normally put our water bottles in to feed the brewing stand. And what happens is the water bottles enter the first slot and then they are immediately pulled back out by this hopper right here. So that's not a problem. We'll just go ahead and lock this bottom hopper, right? And then the brewing stand will be able to be filled by our water bottles chest. So now the brewing stand is filled by our water bottles chest, and we don't lose any bottles immediately to this hopper because this hopper will not accept any inputs due to it being powered. Therefore, our brewing stand can do its work. And as you can see, it is actually almost done already. And we have our 3 awkward potions. So now you think, okay, awesome. Now all I have to do is unlock this hopper so I can take my awkward potions out. And you're halfway right. So we unlock the hopper and we'll see what happens is actually the first slot is unloaded until everything can pass through, and then all slots are unloaded. And we end up with all our water bottles down here again, because this hopper was allowed to feed water bottles while this hopper was emptying bottles. So let's go ahead and relock, get our water bottles. We'll throw away these awkward potions just to make it clean. Go ahead and delete all loose items. Get a few more water bottles. So, is the hopper relocked? Yeah. So I've already relocked the hopper. We'll go ahead and... So the reason why that's a problem, of course, is that when you unlock your bottom hopper, this chest unloads. So what we're going to need to do is, when this hopper is unlocked, this hopper is going to need to be locked. Simple enough, right? So that way we don't lose all of our water bottles while we're collecting our awkward potions. So we've got our brewing stand filled with awkward potions again. So before we unlock this hopper, we want to lock this hopper. So now this hopper is locked, and this hopper is unlocked, which allows the stand empty. And now no new water bottles are going in. But before we unlock this hopper to let new water bottles in, we need to relock this hopper, or else the water bottles are going to go all the way down. And now finally, we can unlock that hopper, and the water bottles flow in, but don't just get deposited straight in the chest. So in summary, what needs to happen is you need to have this locked first and unlocked last. So you need to lock this hopper, unlock the bottom hopper, allow some time to pass for the awkward potions to pass through. Then you have to relock this hopper and finally unlock this hopper after this hopper has been relocked. So, as you can imagine, manually handling that with levers allows for a lot of room for error. So that's what this circuit right here does. As you can see, we have our awkward potions from the last round, and we have our water bottles. We'll go ahead and empty this chest just to just to demonstrate. Go ahead and get rid of all items again. And as you can see, the item hopper below is empty. So all of these potions would come from here. So I push the button, and that unlocks this hopper and allows the potions to pass through after locking this hopper. And then after some time passes, this hopper locks and this hopper unlocks after all of that, thus allowing us to collect our 3 awkward potions without losing any water bottles to the collection. So, how do we build it? Let's go ahead and build it. So, you're going to need to start with a 5 wide space that goes back 6 tiles. And the very first thing we're going to do is, well, I guess get all of our items on our bar. We're going to need any block, some repeaters, some redstone dust, some torches, some hoppers, some chests, and 1 brewing stand. And finally, a single button. So we'll go ahead and start with the pulse extender that makes all the magic possible. What you're going to want to do is make a little grid of 6, like this, okay? And we're going to put a redstone torch on this and on this. And then we'll go ahead and go up 2, and then we will place our chest. And this chest can be a double chest. I prefer a double chest. You can place your double chest in any orientation. So if you want a chest like this, or you want a chest like this, or you want a chest like that even, it doesn't matter. For the purpose of the tutorial, I'll just use a single chest, but you can understand that you could add the extra chest to make a double in any direction other than backwards. So here is our hopper, and here's our brewing stand. And as discussed before, the hopper that empties the brewing stand is locked by default, which is what this torch is for. And then we're going to need to feed our brewing stand the other ingredients, so we're going to go ahead and have a hopper here and a hopper there. And here is our water bottles chest. Okay, so far so good. Everything seems great, right? We'll go ahead and get us some water bottles for the water bottles chest really quick. We don't need any specific amount, just enough for a couple of rounds. On my survival worlds, I do have a full double chest of water bottles in this, just so that I don't have to reload it as often, of course. But that's entirely up to you. In theory, you could put 3 water bottles in here, and it would be fine. So we'll go ahead and, while we are making the other circuit, we'll go ahead and get some of these hoppers ready. So we're going to want a stack of blaze powder in here and any amount of blaze powder in this last slot. That allows the machine to fuel itself. So you're going to put your water bottles up here, but your blaze powder refuel just goes in the last slot of the hopper. And then this hopper up here is where our nether wart goes. So the top hopper is what feeds your brewing stand the ingredients. So now our brewing stand is going, and when it finishes, nothing is going to happen because this hopper is locked. So let's go back to the circuit. We're going to build up 3 blocks here, and this is where our button goes. And then we go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay? And we're going to go ahead and place 2 repeaters, and a redstone dust, a redstone dust, and a redstone dust, going down 1 by 1 across those 3 blocks. And we're going to put a repeater into this block, which will full power this block, and this is where the real magic happens. So what we're going to have to do is we need 2 additional repeaters, one on no delay, and this one on 4 ticks. So for 4 ticks, you click 3 times. If you don't know on a repeater, 1 tick is when you place it, 2 ticks is 1 click, 3 ticks is 2 clicks, 4 ticks is 3 clicks, and then when you click the 4th time, it sends it back to 1 tick. So just so that you're aware, when I say that we need different length tick repeaters, you understand how many times to click them to create that repeater. So we got this here, and now we need our pulse extenders. So the way the pulse extender works is by creating an overlapping signal that takes a longer duration of time into the same place as the original signal, which allows the signal to last longer. So we're going to place 3 repeaters in sort of a circle right here, and it's going to be 2 ticks, no delay, and 3 ticks. So 2 ticks, no delay, 3 ticks. Just like that. Easy. And then our next 2 is we're gonna need to add an additional no delay and a 4 tick repeater. And that's the bottom of our circuit. We're already halfway there, boys and girls. Can you believe this build along is actually already almost done? So let's add the top layer. What we're gonna do is we need a system. This is the system that locks this hopper in advance. So what you want is you want this redstone torch and this redstone torch above makes it so the default state of this redstone torch is off. Okay? Does that make sense? And then we're going to go ahead and place some blocks like so. A little line of 4 here, and then a line of 3. And then we're going to place 2 blocks here to allow us to bring the signal up. So with this same signal that we're bringing down, we're going to go ahead and bring it up. And then we go 1 repeater, no delay. And then 1, 2, 3, redstone dust. And finally, a repeater on 2 ticks. And that is the entire build. So let's go ahead and explain what happens when we press the button. So when you press this button, your signal is going to travel around, and it's going towards the top and the bottom. So it's going to reach the top first because the top circuit has less delay, okay? So originally this will all get powered, and this redstone torch will still be off. And then a few ticks later, the signal will reach this redstone torch, which will turn this torch off, which will turn this torch on, which will therefore extend the pulse that goes into here by some time, allowing this hopper to remain locked during the time that this hopper is unlocked. Okay, so that's what this system does. And then this right here is the pulse extender. These 3 are the pulse extender that keep the above hopper lock, and this is the pulse extender that keeps the below hopper unlocked long enough to unload the awkward potions. As you may have noticed, brewing stands unload potions rather slowly. So here we have our awkward potions, and we have our nether wart. We've got our blaze powder, our water bottles, and our water bottle reserve, and nothing in the output chest. Let's push the button. So we push the button, and as you can see, the brewing stand is emptied, and 1, 2, 3 new water bottles are added. Nothing's left in the hopper, and all 3 of our awkward potions have made it to the end. So that's wonderful. So what else can we do with this circuit? Well, I have this one right here, and what's great about it is you can make other single-step potions. So let's say we wanted to make splash potions, and we've got a whole bunch of different types of potions. Doesn't matter what types, because you can apply splash to most types of potions. So let's just go ahead and get us a nice little bank of potions. Go ahead and put them in there. And here we have our machine that is applying splash. We've got 2 splash potions left over in there. We'll go ahead and just grab those out from earlier. And you can see that it is filled with the 3 potions from the bank. And the remaining of the bank is right in here. So, now then, after this finishes, we can go ahead and, you see there's 6 already in here. Let's go ahead and make that 0. And the brewing is complete. So here are our splash potions. We can go ahead and press the button, and that will empty our brewing stand and give us 3 new potions from our bank of potions that we intend to add splash to. And here are our output potions. So you could fill this top hopper with any single potion input, and this chest with whichever potions you want that input to be applied to, and it will do a single round of brewing, applying that input to the potions. So, one last time, going over where the different materials are supposed to go. Here is your output chest. That's where your awkward potions or whatever you're making goes. Nothing goes in this hopper. This hopper, you should have your extra blaze powder in the last slot. It is important that you use that. And then finally, your water bottles go here, and your nether wart or what have you will go in this top hopper. That's actually it, guys. Thank you so much for watching my tutorial. I hope that you make great usage of this circuit. And please let me know if you make it simpler. I'd love to see your designs. Thank you for your time. Uh, don't forget to like and subscribe. And maybe I'll go ahead and take the time to upload some of my other designs if I feel that they fulfill a need that isn't being met by someone else's design. Thanks again so much for your time. This has been Desmond, and I'll catch you next time.